Hello, everyone. Before we dive into today's episode, I wanted to remind you that my book, Drummers on Drumming, is available now on Amazon as both a paperback and an ebook. Based on the Big Fat 5 segment of this podcast, where I sit down with my favorite drummers to discuss the 5 records and stories that shaped their approach to the instrument, this book is packed with insights from the drummers who redefined how we think about the modern drum set. You can grab your copy now by checking the link in this episode's show notes or simply searching Drummers on Drumming on Amazon. So thank you for all the support, and now let's get into the show. What is up? Welcome back to Big Fat 5, a podcast financially supported by Big Fat Snare Drum. My name is Ben Hilsinger, and this week's guest is Sarah Jones, an English musician best known for being a session and touring drummer. She has recorded and/or toured with New Young Pony Club, Ainsley Lister, Bat for Lashes, Pussifer, Hot Chip, Block Party, Pillow Person, and many more. Since 2017, she's been in one of the most high-profile drum thrones in the world as the drummer for Harry Styles' band. She's a veteran and such a great player. I've been wanting to make this happen for a while, so you can bet your bottom dollar I was giddy. Also, there was literally an earthquake while we were recording, so that was fun. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the 5 records that helped shape Sarah Jones into the drummer she is today. Cheers. All right, Sarah, so for this list, what was the criteria for an album to even be in the running and then ultimately make the top 5?
Well, I was just thinking about just the ones that I would keep coming back to, keep putting on my headphones on the way, back on the school bus, and I'd just be thinking, right, I'm going to get that bit today. It's kind of mostly like early days stuff, I suppose, that I listed. I guess the things that made me kind of change how I thought about the drums as well, because I'm completely self-taught. So I kind of got everything from what I listened to and did it that way. So, sometimes friends would show me different kind of genres that I'd never, I didn't know what was going on, but kind of like, right, okay, and you can play this way. So some of the choices are like delving into that, it's not like what I listen to all the time, but in a drumming sense, like, right, this is, if I'm not having lessons, this is cool to learn this stuff, So I guess, yeah, that's how I thought about it, is like how it kind of, I guess, like going from grades, maybe, of how if you're doing lessons, this is how I kind of saw like a progression somehow.
Sure. Yeah, well, your choices are very eclectic. They're all over the place. So this is
they're all over the place.
I love it. No, that's perfect. This is going to be fun. I can already tell. All right, and so this is for someone who, maybe I guess me as well, but listeners that are having trouble finding inspiration. How do you actively seek out new inspiration? When Sarah is like, okay, I'm listening to the same stuff, I'm doing the same stuff. For some reason, we all get in those headspaces. How do you actively seek out new ways to keep yourself fresh?
That's a good question, because that happens often and more, as you kind of, well, I think, as you get like deeper into touring with your band that you're touring with, and you're constantly playing one set, for maybe 2 years or something. You don't have time to go and sit in the rehearsal room or sit in a room with the drums on your own and even go and listen to bands. But the way I do it is, like, Instagram is a really good thing. Just I've not really been one to kind of follow drummers as such. I don't know. I just don't really have that in me to be I just kind of on my own train kind of thing. But I've come across some drummers on Instagram that I'm like, it stopped me in my tracks. Like, oh, that's so cool what they're doing. And then it makes you want to go and, sit on the kit and stuff. And then I guess just kind of reminding myself, like, I do like to go to see live music. And
I
it's
have to
not,
remind myself of that too. Yeah.
yeah, it's not a job, and going and doing it, like going to some festivals over the summer when I finished tour this year in England, went to some festivals, just went, not playing, which is so rare to do, and just, not don't know anyone who's playing and just sit and listen and see what people are doing and, and not also kind of like taking a break from it and not worrying if it's not kind of coming to you. Like I listen to lots of different things that have no drums on, lots of kind of soundscape stuff and things that is just completely different and, have a little break from it, I suppose. And also, I find playing synth. I love messing around with synths. I have a little collection, I suppose. Playing that makes me like, oh, what could I play along to this? And then it kind of goes from there, I suppose. And that's the same with like drum machines and like getting into splice and stuff and like making a cool beat and then, oh, what would this sound like with live drums on the top and stuff like
Sure.
that, I think. Just like for no reason, just messing around yourself.
I know it's we all need to remember every once in a while just to play music.
Mm.
It doesn't always have to have a goal or anything. Just get in front of something and create. So
You don't
yeah,
have to film it. You don't have to tell
yeah,
anyone you've done
yeah.
it.
If you
Yeah,
don't tell anyone that it
it's a
happened.
hard thing.
Um, well, awesome. That's great. Very inspiring stuff. So let's just get into what inspired you. So let's just start off with number one. And I should ask you, is this in any particular order of how it was introduced to you, or how did you do it, or is it kind of just like, oh, this is the first one I thought of and the second one?
No, it was kind of in the order that I kind of learnt things, I suppose.
Perfect. All right. Well, number one, the album is From the Beginning. The artist is Small Faces. Release year is 1967. The key tracks, and like I always say, listen to the whole record, but I forced you to pick one that we'll listen to. It's All or Nothing. And the drummer's Kenney Jones. I've never heard of Kenney, so I'm really excited when I get to hear about new drummers. So take it away, Sarah, and then when you're done, we'll listen to some All or Nothing.
All right, so this particular track, I guess when I had figured out how to play like the most basic beat, then I guess this is like the first track I was like, right, I'm gonna sit down and learn this. It was my dad's favorite song and he plays guitar. So, it's like, come and try and play this song. I always loved playing this song in the band that he played in. So that was like an incentive to like, okay, I'm gonna listen to this and I'm going to play it with somebody actually in the room. There's like parts to it. You've got to learn those parts and kind of like feeling out a song. It was like, like technically some of the bits I had to learn how to do. I wanted to learn how to do that because I didn't know, like how to do certain fills and stuff. But it was more about learning a song start to finish, play it with someone live. And, when you're learning to do that, if you skip a bit, kind of learning how to get back to where you were. And it's like so thrilling when you get to the end, you've done it, and learning how to build stuff up, into a chorus, and you're going off someone else that's, older than you and knows how to do that. And you're kind of responding to them doing that. It was the first like, oh, this is what it feels like to play with someone, not just kind of like thrashing away on my own. Yeah, I've played this song like thousands of times, I think, with my dad. And I just love it. I love the sound of the drums, where the first roll that it starts off with. It sounds amazing. And I had this double bass drum kit, this Pearl Export, huge thing that a friend of my dad's was selling. So, okay, yeah, let's play that, And so different to the drum kit that is on the record. I don't know what particular drum kits on the record, but kind of realizing tuning, like my floor tom doesn't sound like that. What,
Yeah.
what's different? So just kind of opening my eyes to what was going on, really, like all the little things that you can get into with drumming and sort of drumming for the song, really, because I guess that's what I most enjoy, and I always have enjoyed, is kind of, the drums aren't at all difficult on that, but you can play it really well, or you can just sort of blast through the song. But I think he's got so much expression in his playing, and it's exciting. I guess I wouldn't naturally crash the cymbal as much as he does in this song, but I love that it's doing it, and I love doing it, so it's kind of good to copy someone like that.
Sure.
I got so much from it, I think, just this one song.
Hell yeah. Well, here is All or Nothing by Small Faces.
I thought you'd listen to my reasoning, but now I see you don't hear a thing. Trying to make you see how it's got to be. Yes, it's alright. All or nothing. Yeah, yeah. All or nothing. Come on. Hot, yeah. All or nothing for me. Things could work.
All right, so number 2, the album is Metropolis Part 2, Scenes from a Memory. The artist is Dream Theater. Key tracks, Scene 2, Overture, 1928. I guess that's what I should say.
Yeah,
And
I
then the
think
drummer's,
so.
1928. And this is the now current drummer of Dream Theater, Mike Portnoy. So before we figure out where the hell we'll start it, what got you into this song?
So there's I guess, like a little local scene where I grew up, where people would just get together on Sundays and have jam sessions, in like a really smoky old pub. It was my first kind of time getting on the drums and playing in front of people, just people sat around with their pints and maybe like a roast dinner, or can't really remember, but I just met some people there that my dad knew, that they were just younger musicians, like a few years older than me, but they were really good. They kind of, that's what they did. They just spent their time playing, and they were just playing all the time and just so good. It kind of blew my mind. I remember sitting on this carpeted floor of the pub, like, oh my God, like, wow. And my dad would invite them, made friends with them, and invite them back to our house. We had like an old chicken shed where he used to rehearse with his band as a kid, and then he kind of made it soundproof, and it's just like a big room. Like, do you want to come and like play here and like get together? We have a space. So they would come. I just sort of listened to them, and they were really into Dream Theater and like just playing like technical stuff, and it would just get quite ridiculous. I'd just be sat there like, what is going on? But slowly, I kind of really learned, like, we'd sit there with headphones on and play to clicks, and then it kind of taught different time signatures, what they are and how to play in that. And then we were like, listening to Dream Theater, let's try and play this. And they could play it all well, and I'd be listening on the way back from school and on my Walkman at the time, and just be like, this is like nuts drumming. This is a different level. I've got to count everything. I've got to do all this. But we just kind of like, for fun, just try and do it. And it was a real challenge because I had never really played in any kind of time signatures, didn't really know what it meant. And I loved the challenge. I couldn't play half of it, but I could play some of it. And then when we could and we played it together, it was really a fun feeling, to do that, and just really good to learn that stuff, because like I say, like not doing lessons, you could just sort of skip that bit. And the music, I did get really into it, that particular album, but I haven't listened to anything else. It was more like, in terms of drumming, it just opened my mind, like, okay, there's people doing this, right? What's going on here? Then I had a double pedal because I enjoyed some of the stuff they were doing, and at the same time I was into Pantera and metal bands. My brother was really into black metal, so we'd kind of try playing that kind of stuff. Yeah, it was just a time of pushing myself, I suppose. Actually, this song I did for my music exam. I had to play like a piece and record it. So I tried to record this as far as I could get, which is, I can't remember how far I got. I've got it somewhere. I know my parents have got it somewhere. Yeah, I think
Was it on video or is it just audio?
Just audio, yeah. I probably the music teacher was like, "What is this?"
Yeah. It's so confusing that they don't even know if it's good or not. They're like, "I think she played it well.
Yeah,
I don't even know." That was a good trick. That's a good trick.
Computer game kind of way of thinking about drumming at the time kind of thing, like
Totally.
very different from the record before, just sort of trying to like win, like trying to win the game, I suppose. But again, it's like, if I hadn't have done that, I don't think I would have got so like into playing to click and felt so natural playing to click, because I got into that quite early, which is really helpful to, when you sort of get into other bands that are playing out live, and it's just a part of what you have to kind of do. If you haven't had that much lead up into doing that, it maybe is a bit jarring, but I never found it jarring because I kind of would practice like that a lot anyway.
Mm-hmm. All right, so number 3, the album is Around the Fur. Artist is Deftones. Release year's 97. Key tracks, My Own Summer, Around the Fur. Drummer's Mr. Abe Cunningham. So take it away, and then we'll listen to maybe the intro Phil heard around the world.
Well, this one, I was playing in my own band and we wanted to do a cover, and we're all massive Deftone fans, and he plays so differently to, like the metal guys and stuff like that. The way he tunes his kit, to me, like especially on My Own Summer, the very first tom hit, is kind of like, oh, it's so like clean. His sound of his drums is so clean. Like his ghost notes, that was like, wait a minute, what's all this about? And I think I had like a piccolo floating rim pearl snare thingy, and I just tried my best to get that to sound like his snare. And yeah, I would just play this song with my band and just love this sort of different style, being really kind of crisp, and on it with the hi-hats is very precise, not sloshy kind of playing. I really, I'm not speaking very technically here, but I guess, I just loved it. I love that band. I went to see them. I think it was the first time I'd gone like with my friends to London. I was probably around 15. We were still in school, and we went to like a gig, and I remember we didn't drink alcohol. I must have been really young to go to the gig, but it like blew my mind, and watching them live, and it was so excited. I got so excited. I remember kind of getting really dizzy because I was at the front. And I have to go and sit down, and then I heard them play another of my favorite songs called Lotion from a different record. I was like, no, like running to the front, just really so excited. But this song kind of kicked off my love for the band and his playing as well. And there's so many good songs, and so many times I've just sat there trying to play what he's played and kind of like, have I got it? Oh no, I haven't got it yet. And just a different style to what I'd heard before. And I wanted to try and get a bit of that in my playing.
right, number 4. The album is Still Bill. The artist is Bill Withers. Release year is 1972. I love this song so much, and I'll never be able to play it right. The key track is Kissing My Love, and a friend of the podcast, he's been on a few times, James Gadsden. So take it away.
So this completely blew my mind because I don't remember what it is now. It may be like BBC sessions, or I had a projector set up in a house I was living in London. I just came across it, and I was just watching it on this projector in this like empty room, and there's all these live sessions, and I remember seeing James Gadsden. Holy shit, like fucking hell, this is another level. Like I never heard, I mean, I knew that record, but I kind of, for some reason, watching these live sessions, kind of, you know, he looks so amazing, and
Yeah.
the way he is like effortless playing, and you go and play that, and it is not effortless whatsoever. So I just kind of was listening to, like, watching him play, and then, you know, he's playing traditional grip, and the toms are set up, or the snares set up completely different, and realizing like I could not get the sound out of the snare drum that he's getting. It's like, why is that? I'm like, right, I need to. You can maybe just about do it without playing traditional grip, but then I started playing that. I'm like, that's the sound, and you know, I've never really done that before. I'm not that great at it, but I kind of spent a big chunk like trying to play every time just traditional grip, and like in rehearsals, you know, just trying to get away with like switching, and you know, definitely like the underdog for sure. Yeah, just trying to do that to get that sound, that kind of sound on the snare that he gets, that's so like it just sounds amazing. And then his feel, I don't know what's going on there. It's so incredible. I've sat for, I mean, weeks and months and years. I'm like, I got it. I'm like, no, that's not quite right.
Yeah.
Talking to like friends who are drummers just about this song, talking to them like, wait a minute. So just, we're trying to understand it. It's like, it's so delicate, that his swing on it, for me, I think. And I feel like I've got close-ish, but it's not, he's just different game, you know.
All right. Here is Kissin' My Love.
And I can hear the angels sing a song that only angels sing. She's such a pretty thing, and I can feel my heart just thumping and skipping when I'm kissing my love.
So number 5, this is not has not been on the podcast before, so I'm really happy. The album Survivor. The artist is Destiny's Child. Release year's 2001. Key track Survivor. Such a great song. And then there's no official drummer, but the producer did it. Anyways, take it away, and then we'll listen to Survivor.
So I guess at this point I was already playing in electronic bands, you know, lots to click, and people would play me songs that were all drum machine, and like play like a drum machine, like play this beat, but you know, don't put much else into it. Like I want it to sound like this drum machine. Well, just get the drum machine. But I loved to play like that. I really enjoyed it. And you know, you come across things that people have programmed. You're like, oh, that's weird. You wouldn't really play that, but
Mm-hmm.
let me try and do it. And, having SPDS and like had a KD7 at the time, like just trying to flick between and trying to add all those things. Oh, maybe if I put that sound there, and trying to really just play it quite true to what was programmed. And then I remember listening to Destiny's Child. I always, listen to it, but then listening to it on headphones and just having a minute, like, oh my God, there's so much going on. The production is like I've never heard before. And realizing that sometimes my kick placement would be kind of like rock based, I suppose, like how I would just naturally do it. And then listening to this R&B, like, I wouldn't put the kick there, and I want to do that. I want to play this song as true as I can, and it sounds so good. Everything is meant to be there for that song, and kind of get more into that, not just like you're kind of making up a drum beat, just stick to the same patterns that kind of change it around. And this was the first kind of realization of that, I suppose. And like playing along to this song was like, oh, I wouldn't put kick there, I'm gonna just sort of get into that. And it was really good for me to do that, and really fun as well, playing along to this record. I'd recommend everyone to do it.
Hell yeah. I love that. I love that reason. So here's Survivor.
But I'm stronger. You thought that I'd be broke without you, but I'm richer. You thought that I'd be sad without you, I laugh harder. Thought I wouldn't grow without you, now I'm wiser. Thought that I'd be helpless without you, but I'm smarter. You thought that I'd be stressed without you, but I'm chilling. You thought I wouldn't sell without you, sold 9 million. I'm a survivor, I'm not gon' give up, I'm not gon' stop, I'm gon' work harder. I'm a survivor, I'm gonna make it. I was survivor, keep on surviving. I'm a survivor, I'm not gon' give up, I'm not gon' stop, I'm gon' work harder. I'm a survivor, I'm gonna make it. I was survivor, keep on surviving. Thought I couldn't breathe without you, I'm inhaling. You thought I couldn't see without your perfect vision. You thought I couldn't last without you, but I'm lasting. You thought that I would die without you, but I'm living. Thought that I would fail without you, but I'm on top. Thought it would be over by now, but it won't stop. Thought that I was
That's a really cool drum beat.
It's really cool. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I want to go play along to that now.
Yeah. Yeah, like missing the snare out all those times, and just those extra kicks that maybe you like rock minded, you wouldn't do that.
And just the hi-hats going crazy the whole time.
Be crazy the whole time. Yeah. And just trying to be everything, and sometimes even just completely dismissing what's there, and just, doing ridiculous fills over the top, and as if, you're that kind of player, just to like, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite to how I normally play live, but when it's just you and Destiny's Child on those headphones, like just do it all.
Yeah, do you like to play? I mean, when you're practicing by yourself, are you the kind of drummer who rarely plays by themselves and they always like being with people, or do you enjoy just being in just shedding alone?
Oh, I love playing alone. Yeah, I love playing alone. And when I was living in London, I used to have lots of different rehearsal spaces, and I would go, with the drums, you can only play certain hours or whatever. So I just go at night, and I take my coconut water, some snacks. I just be there for hours and hours, just playing, and like, being in studios like with Hot Chip, and they would have percussion lying about, and just adding stuff to the kit, and just having electronics and through the PA, and just getting really into it just alone. I absolutely love it. Now I kind of think, because touring has been so full on, hasn't been much time for that kind of thing, but I've always got a place like I can play, and I always, I love playing alone. I mean, I love playing with people, obviously, but I think I really enjoy making up beats with different percussions and stuff like that, that maybe starts off song ideas and things like that. Not just kind of, I'm not really sort of technical player to sort of learn, I don't know, to practice in maybe some ways that people practice, but I kind of practice in just being fluid, I suppose, maybe that's how I kind of see it.
Whatever you're doing's working for you, so.
I hope so. Yeah.
I think it is. I'm happy that you brought up in your honorable mentions The Knife. So a band that I play with called Cannons, that's her favorite band, Michelle, the lead singer, and I didn't really know about them until she introduced them to me, and they're such a cool band.
Yeah, they're really inspiring. And they're another one, I mean, not like Destiny's Child, but I would play along to them all the time because like the swing of the percussion and the swing of the synths and things to like get the drums to sort of fit in. They don't have live drums or anything like that. I really enjoy doing that. And I guess playing with Hot Chip, I played with for maybe about 4 years or something, kind of trying to fit in with that band is a lot of synths going on and programmed drums, loops and things, and trying to get the drums to fit in without being too like thrashy, but to like sit in with all those kind of different swings going on and different things going on. And playing to The Knife is really good because it's all electronic and their songs are amazing, totally amazing. And yeah, Like a Pen is my favorite Knife song. It's kind of gets me really hyped up and that's a really fun one to play too. I don't like it when live drums like dilute the hardness of a beat when it's electronic, but it's cool to have live drums, if you're playing like in a big place, it can add stuff. I think it's just good to know when to do it. And, if you're doing like too much, it sometimes it sounds better without all that, just like the electronic beat and kind of I love hearing it like that. I'm like, you sure you want live drums on this? I'm always the first one to say that, but then I think it's good to know your place witin that, I think.
You are a very busy person, and you're going out with your partner, Mitch Rowland, and that's you're starting what at the beginning of February or end of February?
End of Feb. Yeah, it's about a month tour in America.
Well, definitely want to come see that if I'm still in town.
Yeah.
And of course, your Project Pillow person. You have is it technology plus teamwork or technology and teamwork?
Technology and teamwork. Yeah, that's another project. Yeah. Now I'm off tour. For a bit. Then there's a bit more time to do some other things, but see how it goes.
Well, Sarah, thank you so much for taking the time. I got to tell you, about a minute and a half ago, there was an earthquake right now. I just felt it. I'm on the. I mean, we're fine, but I'm on the 4th floor. I'm in Los Angeles, by the way, so it's par for the course.
I had no idea how often the earthquakes were in Los Angeles. I looked at this app the other day. I live there most of the time, and like, oh shit, okay. I had no idea.
Well, rarely I don't feel it. And you were talking, and I was like, interesting.
Oh no,
But,
I've never
it's-
felt one before, so I kind of wouldn't mind feeling a little one, but just a little one.
Yeah. No, this was a little tickle. It's fine. Well, I'll let you have a good night, and I'll talk to you soon, Sarah.
Okay,
Thank
talk
so
to you
much.
soon. Bye.
All right, bye. All right, this week's Big Fat Favorite is from Mark Juliana, and one of his choices was the album Crescent. The artist was John Coltrane Quartet. Release year was 1964. The key track we're going to listen to is The Drum Thing, and the drummer is Elvin Jones. So here's what Mark had to say. There's drum set playing before Elvin, and then drum set playing after Elvin. You'd be hard-pressed to find someone in the world today that wasn't influenced by Elvin. The records he made with John Coltrane are biblical, and I return to those very often because they still provide so many new surprises every listen. 1964 was a real sweet spot for Coltrane and his band. Crescent is the record before A Love Supreme, which most people have heard. If there's a record I love, I always investigate the timeline. When was the one just before it or just after it? Or what were they doing as a sideman in between? And especially in the jazz world, these guys were making so many records around that time that it's nice to dive into that and know who's on the records and who else they're playing with and try to wrap my head around all those details. So here is The Drum Thing. the show. If you're listening on a platform that allows ratings and reviews, do that. It helps more people find the show, so it'll get bigger and better, and hopefully I'll have a chance to sell out one day. But you'll be an OG listener that can brag to all your friends. Anyways, why don't you go and check us out at bigfatsnaredrum.com and follow us on all the socials. Just search for Big Fat Snare Drum and you will find us. The show is edited in part using iZotope RX Audio Editor. It's amazing, so go check that out at iZotope.com. And thanks again to Gunnar Olsen for the theme music. Bye!